Hi, I'm Gabe.
And I'm Kat.
And we're the Ghouls next door. Talk about that spooky stuff.
Always. You know, how we do. How we do. It is exciting when we talk about spooky stuff. That's what podcasts are for.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is episode 22.
Yeah. Almost as old as me.
We're feeling 22.
Shut your mouth.
Okay. Well,
You're not that popular anymore, so like relax.
Okay.
I'm imagining that you're Taylor Swift. Just for
I understood.
Yes. Okay.
I was channeling her. I also hated it.
Yeah. I remember when I turned 22, I like begrudgingly was like, oh, this is the only song I can think of that has my age in it.
What's that age again?
Was it Blink 182 one? What's that age for that?
You're 23.
Yeah, 23.
Yep. All right.
That was a good age.
So welcome to the Ghouls Next Door, a podcast where we talk facts, films, and feelings in regards to the horror genre. We are two ghouls who love spooky things, and so this episode is going to be a short episode.
Yeah.
Because we're going to talk about short horror films.
Woo!
And
all right, we're done the whole episode now.
It's done. We did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're just sitting here comfy in our shorts people only basement.
Yeah.
So we wanted to talk about it's not so much a genre or type, I guess.
Yeah, it's more of a type of film / projection of like way to get something across, but not overthinking it and not being too extra about it. They're just like scary.
Yes.
That's the whole thing. Put a period at the end of it. Excellent. It's been 2 minutes.
Yeah. So you don't need a lot of exposition. We're not looking for everyone's backstories. We're not looking for we don't need an explanation for what's happening. It's literally you're picking up right before the events occur, and then it's done.
It's taking all the best parts of a long-ass movie and just condensing it into like maybe 5 minutes, usually less.
And it's great.
I think the better ones are like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, holy shit, what? Yeah. That's where I'm at with that.
If it's more than 5 minutes, it's like, what am I watching a full film now?
Yeah.
I was not emotionally invested to watch an entire 10 to 15 minute piece.
I noticed that like 8 minutes is like somewhat acceptable, but once you push past that, it's
pushing it.
Yeah, like 8 minutes is the tops. Like you cannot get more than that. You need to stop at that point and just like call it.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, I think what it is that people are expecting to have like a short, quick experience. And once you get past 5 minutes, people start to be like, okay, why am I still here? I should have been
usually like,
already.
They don't need to still be there.
Yeah.
That like if it was done right, it would have ended 3 minutes ago. Yeah. And everyone would have got to be like, all right, cool. Got my horror kick for the day. Done. Gonna go do normal stuff.
Satisfied my little horror urge.
Yeah.
That was horror. I said horror, not horror.
Whatever.
I just wanted everyone to know.
We get to fulfill whatever fucking urges we want to. We are free.
Gabe, this is my voice, just finished a film with a team in 48 hours. Part of
48-hour film festival.
Film project.
Sorry, I stole your thunder. You said words, babe. I'll shut the fuck up.
It's okay. No, so it was a 48-hour film project, which essentially is just like that. You create a film in 48 hours. You have no idea what you're going to do until they give you your genre, a character, a line of dialogue, and a prop that you have to have in there. And so you're writing your script till 2 a.m., 3 a.m., you're filming for an entire day, and then you're editing for an entire day, practically. And it was intense, but we made a 7-minute film.
Nice.
And it was nice. It was nice
just
to do it.
Just under the too much time.
Yes, and it was like that was like the most. It was allowed to be 4.5 to 7 minutes.
Yeah.
And honestly, I wish we were small. It was shorter, personally. But one for like editing purposes, but also just like I feel like you could really make it more concise, and it's a better challenge to make it smaller. But it was an experience. But what I will say is that it has inspired me to now want to make more short films.
Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing the one you did last year, and I loved it. So I would be totally down to see more short films.
But yeah, we're going to talk about short horror films, and we're going to tell you why they work.
Yeah, we'll keep it short and sweet and to the point for y'all.
Facts. Yeah, facts. We tell you facts. All the facts. Yeah, facts. Still facts. About that spooky stuff. Yeah, spooky stuff.
So, short horror films.
Yeah.
Kat, why don't you tell us here's the thing. All right. I'm just a lowly filmmaker, and I want to make it big, or I just want to make an impactful film, and I want to put it on the YouTubes or wherever, and I want to spook people. How is the best way for me to do that? What are some tips and tricks to do it correctly?
Yeah, I mean, I think I could speak from our own witnessing of many horror films that were short films that both hit and miss. You'll see with David Sandberg, every single thing he's ever touched in the short film land was excellent. I was just thoroughly happy about it. It was like no more than like 4 minutes, I think, for like each one. So I'd honestly say like short, to the point. You have to have your plot. Like, it's not complicated. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Keep simple, stupid. Like, honestly, like, that is what gets you. It's just playing with like simple things that definitely bring a lot of fear. So like anticipation, suspense, lights. Like, people are super scared of the dark. It's just like you play with stuff that shouldn't be being messed with. Easy scare. You got footsteps coming up from, like, you play with sound and light, I think, are like your two biggest areas that you can really make a big impact with in short horror films, because it's very easy to do. It doesn't cost a lot of money. You can make like a no budget short horror film, as David did for his entire thing. Like, all of them were like no budget films he made with his wife in his apartment.
Yes.
And they're amazing.
So David Sandberg did Lights Out, which is a famous one, which we'll talk about in our films portion. And he also did like a bunch kind of in that same light, or lack of light, in his films. And then he moved on to make the actual full-length film of Lights Out, and directed Annabelle, New Creation, and is directing the new Shazam film.
Yeah, so
you
like,
can make it big.
I think he is an excellent example of someone who did it right. I'd also say like there are a few other ones that we watched that they were good because they were so short. The idea was simple. There was a twist with a twist. Like, it was a lot of just, hey, this is scary. Oh, hey, this is weird. Hey, this is like something that would make someone uncomfortable. And then just like really going for that real quick. Not really trying to explain anything, just letting it happen. And I'd say that those were the most successful. But when you get one that's like 20 minutes for some reason, and you're like, why? Why am I still watching this? And you don't want to be. You don't care about the characters. That's not the point of a short film. You don't get to know their whole backstory. So keep it short, sweet, to the point, and get out.
Yes.
Yeah. Keep the lights on, and don't run up and down steps, and don't slam doors and shit. I mean, but do those things, actually. I'm saying the opposite of what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say, so it makes me think of improv. Like, an improv, when you have a scene, you have like your rising tension, and then there's generally like a lull so that your audience can like catch their breath, because ideally they're laughing a bunch, but they catch their breath. There's kind of like a lull for a second, and then there's another hit that just like brings the action back, and on that hit, that's when you cut. Because it's like, you got them, and now let's not drag it out anymore. And that's what short films really remind me of, is that you have this rising tension, and then something really big is happening, and then it's like, are we okay? And it's that like maybe the music was building, and then all of a sudden it stops, and everyone's like, you do that like sharp intake of breath of like, what's next? And then bam, scary, like face in your face, scary noise, a creature, a death, something happens, and then immediate cut to black is brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, yeah. It's just like less is more.
Yeah.
Like, you're really doing more of a service to the audience if you're just really letting it die when it needs to die.
Yes.
and
Big fan of
it
that.
makes it better. Like, it's just, if you drag it out and you make it something more complicated than it needs to be, then you're going to have a crappy film.
Yeah, which is kind of how I feel about Lights Out, the full-length film.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel very strongly, like, I feel bad that he's also directed it because I like him a lot. But, like, and I thought it was good, but also the short film just does the job.
Better.
You don't need to know. I didn't need to know.
No.
And I thought, like, what they did with it was creative in the actual full-length film. I liked it. Like, I was happy I saw it. And a lot of, like, the stuff that was scary in that film
is like homage
true.
to, like...
Yeah, it stayed true to, like... He knows how to make something scary without having to do too much, which I thought was cool. I just, like, also feel pretty strongly that you didn't need to do the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I think what really works is identifying a phobia or like a film or a fear that everyone relates to.
Yeah.
So like this fear of the dark is really prominent, and like this fear of like a boogeyman. Like there's constantly like a boogeyman thing like that's coming to get you, and you have a short period of time, and you're obviously attached to this person because it's told in a way that's you're watching them, but you're also like you're there. Because you're just as out of the loop.
Quick. And also, they usually are just like normal looking people, so like you kind of relate to them extra. Because like short films, they're not big budget, big Hollywood things. They're usually like somebody's wife or like some guy
or some
like,
art,
you know.
like or new acting student. You know?
Like it's usually someone you don't know, and they look normal because they are. They're not famous yet, like usually, and that's relatable. But then, as you said, like it's just such a brief period. You're like in it with them.
Yeah, and you're discovering things when they're discovering things, and when they're put in these predicaments, like you're going along for the ride, so you're just as terrified because you're like, God, don't open that door. Or does that light have to go off? Like, there's constant, like, you're doing a good job with your short film if, like, people are constantly, like, asking questions the whole time. Like, why? Dear Lord, why?
Yeah.
God,
honestly.
Please, where are you? Please turn on the light. God, why?
If you got people like us who, like, love horror and we're, like, hiding behind our hands, like, peeking through our fingertips, then you're doing a good job.
Yeah. And you do it because it's, like, it's a challenge in that you have to get people's adrenaline like pulsing immediately, because that's exactly when it's like there's like a brief time for buildup of like we've established that we're in a home and there's one protagonist and they're alone, which is already scary. Yeah, the lights flicker. Like there's just like things that like anyone who's just living at home is going to experience, and that's just the way it goes. Or just like, you know, a quirky like prompt, you know, because we watched one that was like pretty cool, and we'll talk about those in a minute. But I think, keep it simple, stupid. Don't dwell too much on trying to explain the world, because I think it really takes you out when you try to.
Yeah, this is, you know, you don't have enough time, so like, what are you doing? I feel like it goes back to like life. Like it's a very good life lesson. It's a short horror film, and improv. It ties into that too. It's like, when it gets good, just like, not in like that you should like leave all the good things when they get good, but like don't try to drag stuff out further than it needs to. I feel like we see that like in life all the time. Yeah. Where it's like you stay in a relationship longer than you should just because you're like, oh, it was good for a while, and then it's 6 years later you're like, what the fuck? Or like,
Cat's getting real.
I'm just saying, like, I just feel like it really speaks to what we should be doing in general. You shouldn't like cut people when things are good, but like you should let them be good and like accept when they don't get good. Like when it starts to drop and you realize that like, all right, you let it go instead of ruining the good time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Picking up and putting down.
Picking it up.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I think
that's how I feel.
And I feel that way about like series.
Shows do it all the
time. Like Supernatural.
Sorry.
Just kill them, please. Somebody just put them out of their misery. They don't need to still be here. It should have ended in season 5. It's now like season 25, and I don't understand why we're still here. But I have super like intense respect for shows that are like, I intended this to be 4 seasons, and now it's done, and we're done. We're gonna nice little bow, because you run the risk of like,
There
getting
didn't need to be so many
canceled.
Terminator movies.
Yeah.
They ruined the best thing.
Yeah. So I think it's just really like summing it up, tying it up real nice and sweet in your film. Don't get worried about the details and don't get too elaborate. And having a good monster, or also making it kind of believable, because even with the monsters, it's like I can believe that if I'm alone in a subway that there's a monster in there.
See, I don't like it when they show the faces. We differ on this. I don't like the faces because I feel like it makes it cheap. Like, the faces are always stupid looking.
Yeah, but I think it's okay because you're not seeing them the whole time.
Yeah.
You see them at the end.
But I'd rather it just be like a shadow, or like even just like a hand, or like something like a little more ambiguous. Because when you see the stupid fucking face with no eyelids or whatever I don't know, it makes me mad. I'm just like, that just made it cheap. Where like I loved it up until that moment. Where like I get it. It gets the like last minute scare that you need. I think like something needs to be there, but I don't like it when they make it into this like hokey, weird looking like demon thing.
But yeah, I think the reason why that's there is because you have those shadows and you have the hands as like the prelude to the big thing. And I think what's really strong is if they finish with the face. But if it's at the very end, and then it cuts to, like, you didn't even have enough time, because that's not even what matters. The face doesn't matter. It was all the tension beforehand. Thing.
It just, I'm always just like, ugh.
Otherwise, you would be like, what was that? And you might even be aggravated because you didn't get a resolution in some way. So it doesn't even...
I want to leave my people mad about it. Sure. See, I want to make a short film now, and I just want to, like, really just make it like a figure that you can't really see what the fuck's happening, and then it's just gone. And then, like, I don't fucking care if they're mad because it's my movie and it's 4 minutes long and fuck everybody.
Films. Yeah, films. Yeah, films. We watch some films. Now let's talk about those films. And all that spooky stuff. And all that spooky stuff.
So we watched a bunch of films.
Yeah.
As we expressed earlier, we watched Lights Out with David Sandberg. We watched a really quirky film about a woman who was a murderer.
It's called Don't Ever Change.
Don't Ever Change. We watched a classic like Tuck Me In.
Tuck Me In. I Heard It Too.
I Heard It Too. Classic. Lights Out's classic. We watched this one about this girl in the subway.
Oh, yeah, that was okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there was like the Midnight Man with his long fingers.
I really liked Midnight Man.
Midnight Man was enjoyable.
He was a good time.
It was enjoyable.
There was one called The Passenger, which you did not see, but I watched by myself while you were at work, which was terrible. Which is about a guy who, like, basically his car is like flipping out, and then there's like a ring type girl who's like his passenger now. It was creepy. It was definitely like, I was like, oh, I'm not driving a car again. Cool. Since
we're probably going to talk a lot about David and Lights Out, I think just a brief recap of I Heard It Too and Tuck Me In, because both of those are super famous. So Tuck Me In, so spoilers ahead, everyone.
It's like a minute long and it's genius.
Yeah, I think even
they don't even have a thing. When
no,
he
they
comes
don't
back
have
up,
a thing.
there's no fucking demon child there.
Thing.
It's just the regular kid. I'm like, thank you.
Yes,
because that's how it should be.
Okay, well, so you can pause it here. Go Google Tuck Me In short horror film.
It's a minute.
Watch it. It's super quick. It's like 48 seconds.
That's the great thing about short films. They're quick.
And then come back. So we're just gonna wait for just like a minute. Okay. Welcome back.
Ha!
Are you spooked? Yeah, you're welcome. So what you just watched was a short film where a dad is telling his son goodnight, and his son's like, "Dad, can you tuck me in?" He's like, "Sure, bud." Tucks him in.
I'm a good dad.
Shuts off the light, but leaves like his little nightlight off. And then he's about to leave, and little boy goes, Dad, can you check under my bed? Because that's what kids do.
Yeah.
You need to check for
That's
monsters.
what the monsters are.
So he's a good dad. He's just trying to be a good dad.
He's trying to be a good dad.
And
But there's no cannibalism in this one.
No. He checks under the bed. And when he looks under the bed, what he finds is his son under the bed now. And his son says, "There's someone in my bed." And then the dad peeks back up, and there's the kid again, just looking at him like, "What's up?"
Yeah,
and
it's
then
like, which
cut
kid
to
is my
black.
kid? Which one do I kill? I don't know. It ends there. It's
Yep.
all left to your
We
imagination.
have no idea what's going to
It's
happen.
amazing.
Then there's I Heard It Too. So I Heard It Too is better, in my opinion, just as like the short story that you read. The film went on too long.
Yeah.
It's a short story that should have stopped the second you see the mom. So the story is there's a kid, it hears their mom call them. They go downstairs, which is where the call was coming from, when their mom peeks from her door and says, "I heard it too." So now it's like, okay, is my mom downstairs, or is this woman that I'm looking at my mom? And then the film went on far too long, and it was just like stupid.
Yeah.
It was absolutely aggravating.
I think it could have ended right there, or it could have ended when she like has her hands over her eyes under the bed.
Oh, and she's counting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even think like you needed her to see anything. I think it could have just ended when she was counting.
Or if you heard something and it was just went to black. Like, we could infer that shit went down.
Yeah.
Because as soon as it goes to, like, it was just too much. Because that story in itself is so good.
Made cheap by showing some stupid ass spooky face.
Yes. Or you can just read it off a Tumblr, because that comes up all the time. But those are classics, like, kind of like, it's weird because it's like, who do I trust? So that's good.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like, that's my, like, thing. That's my person.
This is the person I'm supposed to care about. Which one is it?
What? It's like if there were two Gabes, I might have to kill one of them.
Hi, I'm Gabe. Hi, I'm Gabe. Can you tell which one it was?
I will kill you.
No, don't kill me. So we also watched a bunch of David Sandberg films. So he did Lights Out, as we were talking about. So Lights Out follows a woman.
Bunch of other ones that like no one talks about that were also very good.
Yeah, he did a whole series. They're definitely low budge, and they're quick, and they're cute, and they're terrifying. So it features his wife. Yeah, it features his wife, who's the protagonist, who is just getting ready for bed, and then she turns off the light, and in the hallway, as soon as she turns off the light, you can see the shadowy figure of a woman. And when she turns the lights back on, the woman's not there. So she does a quick, like, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off kind of thing for, like, a few times. And then the last time she does it, there's just a naked woman who is turned with her back towards her, just, like, right next to her. So, of course, she turns it on, then she's like, fuck that. And she tapes it on.
Yeah, like, lights stay on, fuck this noise. Yeah. I'm going to tape this shit, go to bed safe. There we go.
Then she gets into bed, and she leaves her door cracked, and you can see that the light's on. But then you hear creaking of the floorboards.
Oh, the fucking
classic.
Footsteps. Quick,
and then you hear footsteps, and then the light turns off. And then you hear the quick running. And then she gets under her covers, and you're like, fuck, why did you do that? Because now we have to live here. We have to live under the covers, because as soon as you open your eyes outside the covers, then the evil happens.
Yeah,
but of course
she taught me that, so that's real.
Yeah, it happens. So she peeks out from under the covers, and the door's wide open. And so now she's like, fuck that. And then she hears the footsteps again. She gets back under the covers, and then her light starts flickering. Her bedside light. And so then she kind of peeks out from under the covers and reaches for the plug for the light so that it would stop flickering. And she fixes it. I'm giving you a play-by-play. Yes, you have your, okay, we're good. But then
she starts to like laugh. She's like, oh, that's silly.
That was crazy. And then she hears a noise, and she lifts the covers, and she looks around. There's nothing there. She's like, this is fine. This is cool. Nice deep breath, like, oh, how silly of me to think that there was a demon in my house. And then you turn around, and right over there by her bedside lamp is a monster woman, and she just smiles at her and then turns the light off. You hear a click as the lights go dark, and it's only to be inferred that she's dead.
Yeah. It's really good. I mean, I remember you showing me that the first time and me being like, that was my living nightmare. Like, that is something I've had nightmares of that I've now seen a visual representation of and am eternally upset, and I'm never sleeping again. Like, I remember being fucked up, like, afterward. I was just like, oh no, this is my life now. I am scared of everything. Lights will always be on, and if God forbid they turn off by themselves, I'm moving. Like, I'm not even gonna go to bed in the same house. I will just get up and I will leave, and that's what my life will be now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what's really brilliant about it is, one, like the turning lights off and on was really good, but what really gets me is the footsteps, because we all hear creaky like the floorboards. We all have houses that have existed for a long time, so they got creaks and squeaks. So and then sometimes when you're alone and you're just spooked and you're just like, no matter what happens, things are going to be weird. So you might hear something that sounds or resembles like slow, deliberate footsteps, and obviously that could be neighbors. Like, we're in Philadelphia, like you live very close to neighbors. It could be anything, but there is no mistaking running footsteps. There's no way. In fact, we watched a bunch of these films, and then I had to go to the bathroom in our basement. And then Kat decided that she was going to terrorize me while I almost peed my pants.
So great.
And all it was like a bunch of quick, fast running, the lights being off. Dear God, I couldn't close the door.
Yeah, I closed all the doors.
Wide open. And it was so funny. Scary that Kat was afraid while she was doing it.
It was scary, but it was also very fun.
Yeah, and this is a homage to my childhood when I was tortured. But that's really what gets me, is like, there are many times where if you heard the creaks and you heard like one or two footsteps, that you could talk yourself out of it. You could be like,
I've had to as a child.
I do that as a grown person.
Yeah.
If I'm home alone and I hear some shit, I'm like
cats.
You know what? It's nothing. Nothing exists. I'm not even alone when you think about it. The Lord is above me. Something is here that I can pray to if I need to, or something. And then, but there's no mistaking quick, rapid footsteps. And it's coming towards you? No. Like, that's when it's like, no, what the fuck are you talking about?
Even, like, in a joking sense, like, just hearing that noise, it's just very upsetting.
Yeah.
You're like, why is anyone going that fast in my house? Who is in
You're
a rush?
Fall.
Like, there's nowhere in this house that you need to get to that quickly. Do you have to pee that bad? You don't. The answer is you don't.
No.
Go back to your room and walk like a normal person. So that's how I know it's a demon, is if it's like, like too quick.
Yeah,
slow
like
the fuck down.
Whoa. None of us are gonna walk that fast. That would definitely be a straight giveaway.
Yeah, I'd be like, all right, that is a stranger. They are a demon. I don't know, but I need to get out of here.
If it is one of us, then odds are we're being chased by a demon. So either way,
I would run like a fucking clunking whatever the fuck. It would not be quick steps. It'd be like
it's crashing.
Or like I'd fall into stuff. I don't know. But like, you know what I mean? It wouldn't be like quick like baby feet. Like it would be like I am fucking stomping through this house in running formation.
Yeah.
And it would not sound like quick runs. It would sound like I am taking giant steps, probably falling down the steps. And so it's just demons.
A quick question.
Yeah, say word.
If I was in front of you and then you turned around and I was also there, how would you differentiate me from the
one
demon?
that I see second gets punched in the face?
That's not fair. What if you turn around and I'm like, oh, what was that?
Then I say, which you help me punch the other one in the face?
And then you turn around and I'm like, oh my God, Catherine, help.
I would just run away from both of you. One of you is dying. One of you is dying, and I don't want to be the decider.
What if you have to live with the demon me?
I don't want to be the decider. You'll fight to the death, and the one who deserves to live will survive.
Okay, so if demon me lives, and she's doing some creepy ass grudge shit next to your bed, all like,
that's how I die now.
Yeah, you know what? I hope so. I'm gonna fall on the sword just for her.
How do I know which one is the
What are you gonna ask me? Something that only I would know. That's how it goes. One of us lies and the other one always tells the
demon would probably know.
What?
The demon would probably know.
They wouldn't know. You don't know.
They probably would.
One of us lies and one of us always tells the truth. Quick. solve the riddle. That's the only way you can figure out if it's me or an evil demon kid.
One of us lies and
one of us tells the truth. And you can ask us a question to find out.
Is it like a question? I don't get it.
Yeah, so you ask them, you say, if I you say, if I ask you if that person's lying, what would you say? Or you ask them which one is lying. And if they point to themselves what? Why can't I get this? Here's the thing.
Okay.
2 Gabes.
Yeah.
You've established there's 2 of me. You can't figure it out.
Yeah.
One of us lies, and one of us always tells the truth. But no matter what, there's no exceptions.
Yeah.
So you go up to one. You go to Gabe A, and you say, if I ask Gabe B, who's lying, who will they point to? And Gabe A points to themselves. So they're saying that Gabe B will point to them.
Yeah.
So if they're telling the truth, then Gabe B will point to them, which means they're the truth one.
Yeah.
If Gabe B does not point to them, then they're lying.
But I feel like
because
I understand.
Because then I go up to Gabe B and I ask them who's lying. So if they're telling the truth, they're going to point to themselves because they're the liar. Or they're going to point to Gabe A because they tell the truth.
And the truth is like which one's the real one?
The truth is which one is the liar and which one's the truther.
But what if the real you is the liar?
I know, it was a part of the riddle.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's really going to help you.
Well, then what?
Here's
fuck is it even being said?
Here's the thing.
Short, stupid.
If you want to know which one is me,
I punch you both in the face. So whichever one
ask
like
me
gets
that
upset
riddle.
about it.
Whichever one takes fucking 20 minutes to explain and fucking work through in their brain, that one is me. Okay? If the other one's like, well, clearly, if you ask Gabe, like, that one shoot in the fucking face. Because me, it takes me like 3 years to work away that fucking...
Honestly,
listeners, I cut this up so it sounded like I was really smart, but I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm going to get real because we're friends. It took me a long time. I had to look it up and I still was fucking confused.
She had to pause it like 8 times.
But the more of the stories I got there, but just know that if you ever ask me and other me that question, whichever one takes a fucking long ass time is me.
And if it was me, what would happen would be is that the one who's like the anti-me, who's like not me, would be like, yeah, she's lying. And then I would be like, well, like, I've lied before, but like, do you mean like all the time? Am I lying like right now? Or like, which time do you want to know if or when I was lying? Because like, I'm human. I lie sometimes. That's like a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm not going to answer this like concisely because there's more than one answer. There's more than one way to see every single life situation. We're here. Oh my God, I've talked for 20 minutes. Like that's how you know it's me.
The way I would know it was you is I would make you both walk downstairs.
Oh.
Because you walk very particularly. So I'd
Sure
like
do.
to see. I would like to see.
If they go down one leg after the other, you know
they
that
go
bitch
swift.
is not
If it's like
me.
I'd be like, fucking that one up. Cat, get back up here. Quick. Lock him in the
like
basement.
One grandpa step at a time.
Yes.
I mean, if my life depended on it, I'd probably run.
Not if I'm asking you to go down the steps so I can figure out which one. Also,
I would be like, I'm not going down the steps.
can I say this is a lovely demon that's just letting us work it out? This demon's like, figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm taking my chances. You guys don't know each other. This is a wonderful demon.
No,
I always want to kind of keep it around.
I feel like the demon would be like getting something out of like the anticipation of like maybe they'll believe it's me.
And then it's like, does it
I'll
even
have
matter?
a forever home.
Yeah. I'd be like, yeah, you can stick around. Do you, like, great, awesome. Listen, we have 15 meetings tomorrow, so if you could just go to work for me.
A lot of debt.
Listen.
Go ahead.
I got some, like, hobbies I wanted to get on. If you could just, I have so many video games to catch up on. Demon, if you could just, like, do me a solid. Like, you go to work for 2 days, I work for 3 days. It's kind of fair.
I'm just fine with a straight up replacing deal.
Yeah, but I think they might fight you for that.
Resistance is pain.
Yeah. There you go, demon. So, if you're a demon,
I win by dying.
don't haunt us, because you would be enslaved to live our
like,
difficult
all
lives.
my problems.
Yeah. Wear them on your sleeve. So, moral of the story is, Lights Out's great.
Yeah.
They're
all
a
long loop around, but here we are.
we came there.
We did not go short and stupid. We talked for way too long.
No, it's cool. We're still good. So this guy is really good. Give him a look. Give him a listen. Watch his whole series. He's got like Attic Panic, The Coffer, The Closet Space.
Yeah, and that's like what I really loved about all of them is that like one, he just like puts his wife out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
she's
like,
great.
really cool. She's like a really good actress without like having to do too much. Like she's just like really expressive.
Emotive
And expressive, and like she doesn't really have to talk. Like she is doing the exact thing that she should be doing, which is like keeping it simple. The less you do, the better. Like, because you really just want to get the token scary things out there, and she did a great job.
She reacts very humanly to the things that are happening.
Yeah.
Like we all would have been like, "Yep, I'm taping this light on, and yeah, I'm gonna hide under my fucking covers because this is where I live now."
Yeah, and in the one where she's like in the basement, like pulling the sheet off, then it's just like so.
Because
curious, so smart.
Curious.
I'm like he's a genius. Honestly, David Sandberg, you're really great. I am like
kudos
totally
to
blown
you.
away.
We already thought we loved you because of the short film and the movie, but now we're like, you have more. Yeah, and there was like we watched a brief interview with him, and essentially like he started with his low budge films. And then it just like happened. Like he just happened to be on this like big time Hollywood set for Lights Out. And even then he was like, I'd never been here. I've never done this. But like people really saw what he was capable of. And, he really made his mark and was probably just very much like, yeah, you can take my film and make it into a big budget, but I'm going to be the director. And that really stuck his foot in the door and just like showed people what he's capable of on the big screen.
Yeah, no, I think like he has really good instincts about what's gonna scare people.
Yeah,
like because like I feel like in the bigger budget films, like he did like use the stuff that they had access to over there, but like he still kept to like some of the like really simplistic like playing with the light and the sound that was just really effective. When you like you play up like the things you think are gonna happen and then you make them not happen, or you just like keep teasing it and drawing it out, and then like you finally get them, and it's like. It's really good. Yeah.
And then, like, we also watched something that was a little different because it wasn't, like, a spooky horror film so much as it was, like, just, like, a think piece, more or less. Don't Ever Change, which is about... I don't want to tell you what it's about. I want
really
you to just go watch it.
It's so great. I just thoroughly love it.
The other ones are good, but, like, even with me telling you, you're going to get the full effect, whereas me telling and spoiling this one... will totally ruin it. Yeah, the whole first part of it, you're like, what is going on? Because everything's so kind of secretive and it's not fully on the nose. But I super loved it. And as a murderino and just like true crime buff, it kind of struck a nerve in like a curiosity. And that it's like, I can definitely see that being something that could happen. It's silly. It's super silly.
Oh, I loved it though.
But it was wonderful.
Loved it.
So check out Don't Ever Change. See that. See the other one. See Lights Out. See I Heard It Too. Tuck Me In. And also just like honestly, if you just Google short horror film, you're gonna find a lot of golden gems. There's also like Don't Look Away, which is kind of cheesy, but it's cute in a way. I can't.
They try to explain it a little too much.
Yeah, it got weird. If they would have just cut it at, like, he's in the house. As soon as the brother gets involved, I was like, I'm done. I'm not as amused.
They did too much, but, like, the idea of it was really simple and really cool. If they, like, made it more simplistic, it would have really sold. Like, it would have been amazing.
Yeah, keep it simple.
And it was good, but, like, it would have been, cut it when it's good. Just end it. It's fine.
Yeah.
All things.
Yes. What are you trying to say about us?
I don't know, man. We're not peaked yet, so y'all can calm down.
Okay. Alright, cool.
Feelings. Yeah, feelings. Yeah, feelings. Yeah, I said feelings. Let's talk about feelings. Okay. And all that spooky stuff. I love spooky stuff.
It's gonna be Gabe A, who always tells the truth, or Gabe B, who always lies. So if you like
I don't
it,
know which one's good or which one's
if
not.
you like it, it's Gabe A, and if you don't like it, it's Gabe B.
Gabe A, but I'm still punching you in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love short horror films. Honestly, I think I love how just to the point they are. I think it's, for someone who has bad focus like me, being able to like get the whole thing in like under 10 minutes. That's just like pretty great. You can watch a whole bunch of different ones because they're so quick.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, it's just a good time. And I feel like if you're not like, all I'm saying is that I really like short horror films. I feel like, unlike what most people do, they don't drag anything out. They really just like say what they need to say and get out. They do a really good job of it when they do a really good job of it, and then they're the worst thing in the world when it's just stupid.
Mm-hmm.
When they like make it too drawn, they try to make it a film when it's not. It's a short film. It's not a whole thing. Stop trying to make it a whole thing. It's a short thing. So
yeah, I think so. It's Gabe A for me as well, because I think that there's a lot of things that people don't like about horror is like the really cheesy twists and everything.
yeah.
So like when films do like they go a step too far. So like The Boy.
Yeah.
There was like an accepted reality that would have been totally fine to leave on, but then they were like, "Here's a twist." It's like
he's in the walls.
Yeah, it's
Spoilers.
It's silly. It became silly, and I think if it like we were all thinking that's what it was, and I get why they would want it to be a twist because like of course that's like what everyone would assume. But I think it's okay for that to be what everyone assumes, and I think it's okay for things to come to an end and to accept that. Like you don't have to just like keep like beating this dead horse, which is like the worst turn of phrase. But I think that short horror films have the opportunity to just get out a really solid idea in a really quick time and avoid the struggles that full-length horror films do. Because like when you drag out a horror film, it gets really hard because you might exhaust all your like good parts and your jump scares, and then you're left with like trying to have a resolution, which really can damage a film.
Yeah.
If you don't have the correct like resolution and it's like a silly, stupid thing, you totally lost your audience, and they totally have forgotten the ride they just had. Yeah. They forget the ride they just had.
Stupid ass face. Where when it's after 3 minutes, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Yeah, unless you're going to have a really, really good reveal, like the first Saw had a really good one where it turns out he was in the room the whole time.
Yeah.
Like that was fucking amazing. Yeah. And then they made like a million Saws after that, and none of them were as good.
Yeah.
Saw number 2 was pretty dope.
Yeah, I still liked them.
But yeah, I think, like Kat was saying, you just gotta let it go.
It's simple, stupid. Like, people get so wrapped up in their ideas. It's like, your idea is probably not that great. Just like, do the first thing.
Or your idea is really great. You do not have to elaborate. Leave it alone.
Yeah. You don't gotta make it more complicated.
Yeah, leave us in suspense. Don't fully explain it, because that's when you lose us. And with a short, you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to not have to explain. That's the whole point. It's just like improv. Like you're supposed to have that whole why here, why now, but you establish that in a very short period of time.
Yeah, and I also think there's a lot of power in like leaving certain things up to the imagination. Like people have some like vivid imaginations that like they could take it places like you didn't even think it could go, and if you take that away, I feel like it takes away from the whole experience.
Yeah.
Like I think there's a lot that can be done with like that, leaving part of it unspoken, undecided.
Yeah, I think in summation, short horror films are really dope. We enjoy them. We would love to make them.
Yes.
And now that I've endured the torture that is the 48-hour film project, I feel confident that I can make a film, and I'm going to earn like more than I usually do. So remember, one of us always lies, and the other one always tells the truth.
Just punch both of them
You
in
know
the
what?
face.
Just like kill. Yeah, you know what? Just
Make me go up and down steps. You'll know real quick.
yeah. Ask me any riddle, and you're gonna get me stumped. All right. Well, don't get married. They'll eat your kids.
Yeah, don't do that. Because kids murders.
Yep. Because then your kid's like, check my bed.
And then there's 2, and then like you don't want 2 kids suddenly. Like that's bills.
Yeah, and they're already like 8
That's
years old.
2 colleges.
Ugh. Well, just keep trying to be a good dad, even when you have one demon kid and one normal kid.
Look at the hidden. What?
All right. Bye.
Bye.